Tonight, a suspected murderer is on the streets, let out of the Marion County Jail just 2 days after his arrest. And an internal investigation reveals this was all because of an employee mistake. 13 News reporter Emily Longnecker is at the Community Justice Campus tonight, where the suspect had been held. She explains why he was there to begin with and the mix-up that led to his release.
The Marion County Sheriff's Department calls what happened a critical error, a critical mistake that should never have happened, but it did. And because it did, a murder suspect walked out of this jail last Wednesday, setting off a round-the-clock manhunt that the public only learned about 6 days later.
This is the man authorities say they're looking for day and night. 29-year-old Kevin Mason, suspected of a murder 2 years ago in Minneapolis, outside a funeral. Before arresting Mason in Marion County on Minnesota warrants, authorities believe he'd been living in Indianapolis since the alleged murder in Minnesota. The sheriff's office says Mason has a tie here, but won't elaborate on it.
He has obviously evaded law enforcement since 2021. We believe that he is pretty good at what he does. We believe that someone, or obviously he has others financing him and helping aid him during this time.
Mason's arrest came last Wednesday. The next day, the sheriff's department says an inmate records clerk removed 2 of the holds on Mason, one on the murder charge and one on a parole violation.
One of our inmate records clerks thought she was correcting duplicate bookings for Mr. Mason.
Why the employee would have thought Mason was being held on duplicate charges is still under investigation.
That's a very good question. They're identified very specifically by the originating agency that did it. They have a specific ID number. They're all different. And then the case numbers are all different.
The error compounded the next day when Ramsey County in Minnesota lifted the final hold on Mason for a gun charge. Marion County believes that hold was removed because Minnesota authorities waived extradition of Mason on that warrant. The next day, Mason walked out of jail, no questions asked.
I want to reassure you and the public that a round-the-clock manhunt has been underway ever since.
So why didn't the public and media know until 6 days later?
It's simple. We have used this time as a tactical advantage for us.
The sheriff's department says it didn't want Mason to know they were looking for him. That changed Tuesday, when asked if authorities thought Mason was still in the area.
We don't know, that's why we're asking for the public's help.
Authorities are asking the public to call Crime Stoppers or 911 if they have any information about Mason's whereabouts or if they spot him. They advise the public not to approach Mason, but say they do not believe that the public is in any immediate danger. Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
2 Marion County Sheriff's Office employees are now out of jobs because of this mistake. As for the search for Kevin Mason, want to give you a closer look at his description. Authorities say he's 5'9", weighs 205 pounds, and has a cross tattoo under his left eye. The word sub is tattooed on his chest, and he also has a neck tattoo. Again, authorities say do not approach Mason if you see him. Just call 911.